this is going to be another ridiculous match, undoubtedly. And actually, you know, I mean, despite the fact they play similar characters overall, the teams that both Mewtater and Cloud have decided to use today are only sharing one character, which is the Decidueye.
And the Mewtwo.
No, I think it's Shadow Mewtwo. Well, okay, so sometimes Mewtater uses Mewtwo, sometimes Mewtater uses Shadow Mewtwo.
Oh, okay,
and it's going to be the Shadow Mewtwo this time to lead.
Interesting.
We are going to see, of course, that classic Blastoise, considered, you know, a little bit on the lower side of things as far as tiers go, but Mikukey just OCVing so many strong players with this character yesterday.
Blastoise's tier placement does not matter when it comes to Mikukey's Blastoise whatsoever. Now, that being said, Mewtater does have a Blastoise. Mewtater actually did play, or, you know, lab Blastoise for a pretty long time. So this is a character he's going to be very familiar with. He should, you know, have the counterplay for the character down pretty well, and off to a pretty strong start right now as well. I think the biggest thing is you need to be able to play around Blastoise's defensive options, right? The Rapid Spin is obviously a huge one. 8Y is very strong. Just the counterattack in general is really good too. Oh. Nice teleport back. Just gonna whiff punish the 6X with the burst attack. And it's probably not gonna be the round yet, but I mean, Mewtater's just in such a strong spot. He is not letting this Blastoise, you know, get the momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Blastoise can fill up the entire screen with so many projectiles and traps, but if there's any other character that can do that way better, it's going to be Shadow Mewtwo. That's just the style of Shadow Mewtwo, and so if you don't let anything get started, you know, the bubbles can never come out, jump Ys can never come out, and that's exactly what we saw. And I think that's the strategy here of Mewtater going into this match, you know, of course, being such a smart player. Mewtater, one of the smartest human beings probably that I know. Oh, but we're going to see the Machamp come out now against the Shadow Mewtwo.
I love this Machamp. It seems so uncharacteristic. Mikukey really known for playing more zoner-heavy characters, but I mean, he just brought this Machamp out yesterday, and it put in so much work. He plays such an aggressive style with this Machamp. He just wants to grab people. He just wants to give everyone a big hug. But Mewtater not accepting this Machamp's love right now, just, you know, not letting this thing breathe at all.
Yeah, this has not been a game so far for Mikukey really at all. It's been, oh my gosh, even the scary face going into the vortex.
Mewtater's reactions are unreal sometimes.
Yeah, again, you know, I mean, still pretty young. Overall, still pretty young, has those young kid reactions. Although, Mewtater's an interesting thing because he's young and he's also an OG of the scene at the same time. He's got all the powers combined.
Yeah, he started playing this game, you know, back in, big whip punish on the release X. Hold on. Vortex is that going to be enough? Yes, it is.
Gosh.
Mewtater, Shadow Mewtwo up 2-0 right now in rounds.
This is so dominant. I don't think I was expecting it to be quite this dominant. Now we got the Shadow Mewtwo up against the Chandelure, which can be a really rough spot for the Chandelure.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a tough spot for Mikukey right now. He hasn't even gotten through the front door yet. He's got to take out the Shadow Mewtwo. Then we'll, you know, look at the Aegislash. Then we'll look at the Decidueye. Yeah,
the other downside of Mikukey's team, which is one of the weirdest teams that we have here, is that, you know, we see a lot of players playing anchors that are really good at making 3-character comebacks, despite the fact that Mikukey is potentially like the best Chandelure like in the world.
I think
it's not a comeback character. You know, like it's not going to have a great time making a 3-character comeback. Although right now maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's doing really well.
That Sylveon call was really weird. I thought he'd be able to combo into 8Y from there and maybe even take the round, but maybe not. I'm not a Chandler player. I don't know.
I wonder if maybe it was not expected to be Espeon? Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, or not Espeon, but Sylveon.
Maybe he thought it was like Pokkén? I don't know.
I actually don't know. Yeah. It was a weird timing for sure. All right, here we go. I'll just run those shields. Look at that, not doing anything. All right. Minimize into burst. It looked like that. Oh!
Caught him going for his own burst attack.
Yeah, I didn't even see that start up. So that must have, I wonder if that was like on reaction to like thinking that it was far enough away. Regardless, that is going to be the first round on the board now for Mikukey. Having to use that burst in that round, again, kind of a tough spot. And honestly, like, all these characters can fight Shandy. Well, I think Shandy actually is pretty good against Aegislash, but Decidueye
I think it's actually pretty close. I mean, if Aegislash, I've heard a lot of both ways that,
back and forth.
Chandelure in field phase, you know, just wins for free, just break Aegislash shield. It's not that hard. But if Aegislash can get in on the Shandy, like, they can just get knocked out in a single dual phase.
Yeah, it's true. That damage versus that amount of HP. But definitely, though, Decidueye.
Yeah, definitely a better choice. Absolutely. This character, I think, does super well against Chandelure. And you know, I mentioned before when we were watching Shadowcat play that when we watched Shadowcat play Mikukey, actually, that he's going to be very familiar with the Chandelure matchup because of his time practicing with Twixie. Mewtater was, you know, another player who practiced with Twixie all the time.
Ooh, good patience there. That was, again, that setup that Cloud used so well, where you kind of mix people up between the acrobatics, low acrobatics, and just falling JY. Of course, so many reversal options. The falling JY is a lot safer in this situation, and there's still a lot of life left for Mewtater to play with. He needs to get straight hits here and there. Has one more full character on board. Ooh, no frog in your call, right? Could have been right there to get a little bit more pressure. There it is. Oh, is that might blow up the smog? No, it actually jumped away. Yeah. Maybe if that had been a jump from Mikukey. Oh, that's going to stuff the armor. We are now one hit away here.
That's going to go over. Yup. And Mewtater taking the first round. Mikukey's starting to, mount a comeback, but like you said, it's very hard to do with the Chandelure, especially up against the Decidueye, one of the better choices into Chandelure.
Yeah, yeah, it's so tough. Like you had to use your burst in the very first round as Mikukey, against that Shadow Mewtwo, just that you weren't gonna get overrun, and it's understandable. I mean, it was a very good call, but then you suddenly don't have burst for the next one, and then if you had to fight even one more, you might have to fight against the third burst, just because that's kind of the way that the team is designed for Mewtater. It can get burst every single round potentially, and yeah, they're just tough. I mean, dealing with this Shadow Mewtwo, I wonder if we're going to see a switch. Maybe like the Machamp going first. It seemed like it did decently well. Nope.
Yep.
The same thing.
Sticking with Blastoise. Yeah, I could definitely see a switch to a different lead. But something we've seen with all the Japanese players is they pretty much always, until their backs against the wall, they really do stay with their Pokemon and their order pretty consistently. Oh, Thunder connected.
Wow. Yeah. Don't you wish that you had air projectiles to convert into your Thunder?
I do.
Very nice, though. And now it's just going to be pillar into pillar into pillar. What is this? What is this? Going to go for like a shield break here. That is a really tough thing to deal with. Honestly, it's super tough. That's something that Mewtater's been doing for years, is that pillar pressure, because you eventually have to make like a hard call out on the forward dash to get out of that. And if it gets called out, then you take a ton of damage.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw happen right there with the Vortex. Not only that, but each pillar is giving Shadow Mewtwo more and more meter.
Yeah, and look at that, just healing back all that life. We had burst a long time ago, and honestly, we might not even need it in this round. That's what we saw Mewtater do the previous time, was just say, yeah, I don't honestly even need it. Nice, plus on block, using that kind of like big hitbox from Blastoise. That's gonna armor break, and that should be it on the wall. Yep. Decent amount of recoverable life, so it's not going to be back to 100%. You don't get any of that back in between rounds, but I would still say overall that was a pretty similar round to the first game.
Definitely. And at the end there, between all that pressure, Mikukey actually not going for Rapid Spin there, which he had been doing before, and that's kind of when maybe your goose is a little cooked. When your go-to defensive option, you don't even want to try it because you know it's not going to work. That's not a good spot to be in.
Yeah, and Mewtater was actually baiting it like every single time right there, but then just was also able to continue the pressure. So yeah, I do think I would like to see a different lead next time. But all right, that's going to be almost the entire HP bar, because that is classic Machamp. One more read here. Okay, you're going to go for the burst. Not going to stay in rage, which is a little bit unfortunate. Going to try to control shield face.
Catch the backdash.
Mikukey's saying, okay, you want to be in rage? I will give it to you. But now there's nowhere more HP left to lose. You can spam whatever you want. Oh, yeah. Interesting burst.
Mikukey's gonna burst here. That is a little surprising. Oh, and the rolling air grab! Okay. I was saying before, Mewtater's reactions are so good, but maybe a little sleep at the wheel there. Just a little bit.
That's one of those moves that has like the slowest startup in the game, but nobody ever reacts to it because they're like, wait a minute.
You never expect. It's such a deer in headlights thing. You see it, and you just have to register like, wait, what is that again?
Yeah,
and then by the time you realize what's going on, you've been grabbed.
Yeah, it's like 50 frame startup or something like that, but then it adds an additional 40 frames of like startups to your brain as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know about that burst. That was a burst that didn't actually really get all that much mileage overall. But I mean, as long as you can even up the score here, that's what's most important. And actually, with the cheer that was chosen, it could be almost back at full synergy again. So hey, that actually worked out quite well.
Yeah, I do like it. It did look weird because Mewtater was already such low HP, but you have to think like, how much HP do you think he saved by going into that first mode, right?
Yeah, and you are able to heal back a decent amount as well, so you carry that into the next round if you can immediately win. Oh, that's going to be a tech. That might be it.
Yeah, that's gonna knock out for sure. H-slash damage is...
Oh no! Weird combo. Could have just gone for the full thing. Did he lose the buff?
I think he must have known that it wasn't gonna knock out, and so he went for a reset instead. Oh, he just went for 8x Oki. And again, we see here Mewtater bursting with Machamp at 1 HP, but again, just using your meter to close out the round just without taking any more damage, nice and, you know, safely. I think it's a good use of meter, even though it seems kind of weird because they only have 1 HP left. I'd rather use my burst and win the round immediately than, like, lose neutral one time, take 200 damage, and then burst to win the round, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially against a champ, you really want to stay in control all the time right
Definitely.
there, so totally understandable. But yeah, both players, you know, making that risk at the end of each round, or I should say, like, kind of taking no risk by bursting. So it's really interesting to see the expression from both these players and the respect for each other using those bursts. Ooh. And right now, yeah, like you said, it can be so tough to get in, but that's a good way to get
Found
in.
his way in. All right, let's see if Mewtater can capitalize on this. Overheat is on deck, so I'm sure Mewtater will be playing around that. Mikukey gonna burst now, not wanting to deal with this pressure. That's gonna punish.
Yeah, it should for sure. And that was kind of a tough spot, right? I mean, you do get a lot of buffs as Aegislash, but there are a lot of defensive options that can work especially like as a bursted Chandelure against Aegislash. So this looks like it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to go to the final round for sure. But realistically, again, you know, just to keep on this lead, all the Mewtater had to do was get Mikukey to burst and then keep burst himself, because now we're going to have Decidueye, like we mentioned before. That's a very tough matchup for Chandelure, and we're going to have full synergy versus not so much synergy. I mean, it's possible to build it, but not going to be easy.
Yeah, the HP is roughly the same, but this is, I think, actually a harder spot, a much harder spot for Mikukey than Mewtater. Watch the Hex. Yeah, we all knew.
Whoa,
oh, Chandelure missing, but the overheat coming out doing massive damage thanks to that defense debuff.
Yeah, no way to get rid of the debuffs though on the side of Mikukey, and we're going to see an offensive burst here, even in field phase, I think, right? Yeah, to just try and say, hey, look, if you got double debuffs, I'm not going to let you get away from me. I'm going to end this before you can get burst at all.
Yeah, I like the thought process a lot from Mewtater here with that.
Oh,
and, yep, air-to-air JY.
Nice.
Right.
That,
a little bit of chip plus unblocking. Yeah, Meteor's about to run out. May as well use it.
Yeah, you're going to be an advantage anyway. Doesn't wall.
He didn't finish.
Oh, this is actually a really good start here. This is a potential like Hex situation. No, actually going to play super aggressive. Oh, the overheat! That's 2 overheats. That's all that's hit, and it's 1 hit away now from Mewtater. Oh, this is scary. Has to get him past the beams. Blocks the second one. The burst is built.
Burst. This is so scary. Yeah, gonna call Frog here.
Oh, what a challenge. What a challenge. But, oh, gets caught. And Mikukey with the 2 super strong overheats pulls it back. That was so much damage off of 2 just overheats. I mean, one of the strongest moves in the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that second 2i Mewtater went for just to kind of poke him. I think Mikukey he said no, you need to hold this overheat real quick. You can't check me like that. Oh, I think he's trying to talk to us.
Hello. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mikukey? He's saying, oh, okay. Chandelure's broken. Oh, yes, thank you.
True.
I'm just kidding.
Thanks for letting us know.
No, I'm just kidding. I actually have no idea what's going on there. But regardless, that was such a strong round from Mikukey. I mean, such good patience. Mewtater didn't go for any really big, like, risky mix-ups, which makes sense, but just waiting for those moments. And, you know, it's so easy to bait overheat. You know, not to say that you're always going to bait overheat, but there are a lot of different setups that, well, yeah, a lot of the time, right, that are kind of auto baits for overheat, and all the good players know how to deal with that. Yep. It's a very slow startup move. It has 0 hitbox above its head. And so, especially, like, you know, we saw how well Mewtater was baiting it with the Shadow Mewtwo earlier on. And so the fact that he managed to land 2 of them in the final round, that is extremely clutch.
And he had the buffs up in order to even do 2 overheats in a row to begin with, because those were back-to-back.
Yeah, they were. I mean, had to wait it out a little bit, but all right. So asking a little bit of a question here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but maybe, yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, probably like asking if you can switch like supports or order or something on a win. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So,
right. Clarification of rules. For clarification, Mikukey does rule.
That is definitely clear to me. But yeah, Mewtater, I mean, was so dominant game 1, but just couldn't quite pull it off. And once again, you know, we're kind of in the same spot here where we saw with Cloud and Saba, where it's like the first 2 characters are honestly not like just doing super well for the Japanese player, but their anchor, their specialty character is really just carrying the entire team. Yeah, and I mean, you can see just how specialized they are with that one character. But we'll see what happens in this one. Once again, Mewtater starting off so strong, but we did see the switch. No more Blastoise at the start. I love that choice. Yeah,
probably was a rules question, so he can lead Machamp here. Although, I mean, Mewtater looking pretty strong against Machamp anyways.
Yeah, this is actually not looking very different at all. Did he perfect block the back Y?
I think he tried to, but it's a multi-hit, so you can't, unfortunately.
Okay. Until we figure out that weird, like, double multi-hit perfect block thing that somebody figured out that nobody ever did consistently.
Someone will figure it out eventually,
Yeah. Probably
It'll
Mewtater.
be Cloud or Mewtater,
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, the EV call, just to get back a little bit of life, and I don't even know, just to get everything from that. And this is, the switch didn't actually work out that much. Are we going to see the Blastoise again? I would actually really just like to see the Chandelure here, because the Blastoise has gotten very little in this matchup. Oh, hey, wow.
Chandelure, there you go.
Thank
nice
you.
Think alike.
You see, he's talking to us through the camera. I'm talking to him through the camera.
He's got an earpiece. He hears our commentary. Our commentary is secretly coaching for him.
Yeah. I don't think the stream can actually hear us. I think it's only to the players.
He's the only one here, despite the language barrier.
Yep. All right, here we go, though. Already has Chandelure in the corner, and if this can be a really dominant game, which is actually this is a really scary spot because this is first Shadow Mewtwo. Oh, yeah.
Stay in the corner.
Look,
another one. There it is.
Yep.
Can we get another one? And just a shield break.
Oh, yeah. We don't need another one. And into burst perfectly timed. There was almost no more time left on that. And this is not quite enough, I think. Actually, I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I actually am not sure.
I don't know the scaling on a lot of the shield breaks, especially not that one.
Whoa!
I'm a genius. I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm just getting 2 HP. That's really rough. And yeah, now going to have to deal with the Frogadier setup. Just checking with a lot of mids right here.
Mikukey has been consistently putting out like the best anti-air fireballs. Like he knows exactly when he needs to do that. But gonna go for a grab there, not gonna work out. And Mewtater up 2 rounds with the Shadow Mewtwo. This is kind of what we saw, in the first round, the dominance from the Shadow Mewtwo. This time, however, Mikukey does not have Chandelure in the back to try and make a comeback. He's got the Blastoise, and that's tough because Mewtater has been showing how good he is against this character.
Yeah, see, the issue here was that Mikukey did what I said I thought should be happening, and that was unfortunately not the move. Yeah, not having that burst actually to fight against Mewtater Shadow Mewtwo in that round was actually super detrimental, and I didn't even think about that. But there's so much to think about in team battle mode. That's why I really enjoy watching it. But here we go. This has been almost a perfect. This could be an OCV, honestly, just for what we've seen in this matchup 2 games in a row.
And punish the rapid spin, yeah. I'm not sure what Blastoise is supposed to do about that. I think Mewtater also realizes that he's not sure what Blastoise is supposed to do about that.
Yeah.
So he's just going to keep doing it.
That's very much a Mewtater playstyle type thing.
Just grab him?
Yeah, that's rough. Not going to be quite enough, but we're going to see the burst here, I'm assuming. Maybe going to wait a little bit. Yeah, this makes sense, actually. You wait until you
wait for the burst is over.
You can also wait out the shield break here. You've got a little bit of time, 37 seconds on the clock. So I would burst here.
That's a block string.
No! That was actually just so gross. That was actually just so gross. What is that? It's the rat. The rat hat.
The rat hat. The rat on the hat.
The Chad rat hat.
Yeah, so I do like Mikukey, waiting there for Mewtater's burst mode to run up before going into his burst mode. But yeah, just one pillar too late though, because I don't think he realized that this was going to be a block string into a shield break.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate, but now he knows. I mean, we were saying yesterday, if you have tech, now's the time to use it, right? And Mewtater is definitely breaking out the tech.
I do want to say he's breaking out the tech, but he did that to me like 3 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, well, this character's really cheap. What are you doing?
That's kind of lame, honestly.
No, but I mean, honestly, it's a really cool strategy with the pillars, and it works against specific characters very well. And that's why we see it mostly against that Blastoise, just because of the options that Blastoise has. And, or I should say, the lack thereof.
Yeah.
And I think when he used it against me, it was in a similar situation where I was using like Charizard. I was using Charizard. That's exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah, that sounds unwinnable.
Well,
the 4X flanking with JX, they're very interesting.
Kind of everything feels unwinnable against Mewtater.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Still, wow. Throughout the pillar, still caught the landing lag on the jump, and then punished with the 2IY and a burst. Mewtater just looking so strong. I mean, honestly, the fact that Mikukey pulled off that one game was so impressive, but just hasn't been able to repeat that level of success. And it might just come again once down to, fighting using that Chandelure again.
Oh, get out of there.
Oh, yeah. Caught. Wow, the conversion post burst. Unblockable? Oh, not quite. Walks him into it. Nice 2Y.
He can get a follow-up with 6 half that.
Yeah, maybe didn't have the confidence there.
Oh, that'll do it, yeah.
And we are looking at, once again, a dominant Shadow Mewtwo game. Will it? Which character will it be? Okay, now I like the Chandelure. Now I like it. We've got the full burst built from the Machamp that wasn't able to use it.
And Shadow Mewtwo doesn't have the full burst.
And now we don't
but we see Blastoise.
So now, you see, now the fear here is that you might want to burst with Blastoise. And of course, Blastoise burst is really good, but it's just so scary, again, in this particular matchup. Oh, his clips just barely
missing the water spout. Oh, and now Mewtater has burst just like that.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed whiff punish.
Yeah, that rapid spin is not working.
I think Mikukey should have switched off of Blastoise. I mean, we know Mikukey has different characters. I think we should have seen the switch. Look at this. Look at this. This is absolute bullying. This is absolute bullying. Yeah, Mewtater. Oh my gosh.
It really, really looks like Blastoise can't do anything at all about this. All right, the counterattack connecting. Huge damage too, actually. But now Mewtater has burst, and this is going to be really tough for Mikukey.
Wow, the reaction. That would have worked even if that had been in range of the grab, but also just to add insult to injury was outside of the range. Plus, now the attack buff, of course, from the EV.
And the crit.
Yeah, just a yikes. I mean, it's not going to quite be enough, I think, against the bursted Blastoise. Yeah, any other character that percent HP probably would have been enough. Nice. Okay, hold on. Just needs one more hit here, and you're in a great Oki spot. No, there's that. Ooh, didn't quite get through, but punished it anyway. Mewtater just standing at the perfect spacing outside of like every single option to just sit there and whiff punish.
Exactly. He's doing a great job playing around really Blastoise's pretty limited defensive options. Like Rapid Spin is definitely not a bad move. His counterattack is definitely not a bad counter, but because those are kind of the only things Blastoise can rely on in those defensive situations, it's pretty easy to kind of have them scouted out, just play outside the range, and just whiff punish, you know, to your heart's content, really.
Yeah, it's not a bad move unless you're playing against Mewtater, but Mewtater with very low HP needs just one more hit. Yeah, just immediately went for the Miracle Eye just to do some self-damage and get that meter. So smart. Oh, there's the overheat. Great call.
That was huge. Yeah, so the minimize through the barrier, through the vortex, and then overheat to take the round, but also Mewtater using burst for that, so he's going into the next round with no synergy.
Yeah, I mean, luckily he doesn't have to worry about too much because it's not like it's just one character left. There's still two, so you're going to have a lot going for you.
But we saw the situation a couple games ago where the Chandler almost made the comeback. He was able to get through the Decidueye, and then it almost beat the Aegislash right afterwards. But Mewtater going Aegislash first this time.
Yeah, the Aegislash, you could very much, if you can get in once, you could force the burst out once again. Yeah, and that could be a really big benefit. But of course, getting in, not the easiest thing. Hey, you know, just hit by a laser, you can at least get into duel. Oh, there we go.
Crit. Okay.
Oh, challenges the Frogadier. Nice. Wow, getting over both hits of the Frogadier. That is a lot of knowledge right there. Oh, tempted to get past the, but can't get past the, anything really right now. Too many things hitting all in a row for me to call it out.
And if Mikukey can win this round with one without taking that much damage, but two, more importantly, without spending his meter, he'll actually be in a pretty good spot. Decidueye is definitely a very tough matchup for Chandelure, but Mikukey's shown that, you know, he is able to play it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if Mikukey wins this, I would like to see the Aegislash switched out. Yeah, it is. I would love to see this Aegislash switched out if there's a loss, right? I think switching into the Mewtwo here would be really beneficial.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Well, Mewtwo, the Chandelure, is also kind of tough from what I've heard from the Mewtwo. I kind of don't believe Mewtwo players when they say Chandelure beats them, but it does seem kind of tough to get in on the zoning with that character.
I think undoubtedly Mewtwo has more options than the Aegislash, though. I mean, obviously Aegislash is a little bit scarier, or a lot scarier once you get in, but you know, the Aegislash just hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything this entire set. And, I mean, it's been the Shadow Mewtwo most of the time, but here we go. It's final character. Still match point now here for Mewtater, and he's going to land the first hit. Not going to get the full combo. Can go for the safe jump, though.
Yeah, definitely not going to go for the grab there because of the potential for overheat.
This shouldn't be enough, should it? It should wall. You can get jump and fly Y into X. Can he bounce? No. Phase shift point's a little bit too high there. Wasn't able to get the full ground bounce, so still one more hit. Has burst to burst. Probably going to hold on to it a little bit.
Oh, good side when they get through. Not going to be enough yet, though. I feel like, yeah, just back up, just waste the meter, finds the Spirit Shackle, though, doesn't even need the meter. Mewtater taking it 3-1 over Mikukey.